Hi, Ms. Morphew here to tell you all about week 9. We are almost finished with our course. How exciting is that? I'm going to share screen and get you to our PowerPoint. Good students remember things, but really smart students will look for clues and write down key points. Here we are in week 9. At week 9, you've had experience with a variety of speech techniques, the things that will appeal and connect. And so this is going to be your great work, your magnum opus for COM 2025. You are calling us to action. First, you need to establish that there is an urgent problem or opportunity. And then you can do that with all of your layers of attention getters and layers of your credibility and layers of support. There is a problem. Next, you'll want to tell us what the solution could look like. Give us your steps, give us your methods to solve the issue. Check out a video I'm going to mention later from Alex Lyon about persuasion and call to action. Finally, you're going to show us what the world, the benefits, what the world would look like if we follow your call to action. Remember that you still have time. I want you to grow, search what resources are out there, ask for some support. We even have an Ask a Librarian link in that blue box on our main page. So if you click that, they can introduce you to 2 major databases for communication that has to do with points of view or opposing viewpoints. Really good sources that you can explore for whatever topic you're considering. One feedback I'd like to give from the various speeches I've looked at so far and the outlines that I've seen for persuasive and demos that have come in recently is that planning and practicing how you will quote each of your sources can be elevated. So I've hinted to a few people or directly stated that they need to go to the How to Say Cites vid. It's actually named How to Plan and Practice Your Cited Sources. It is about a 23.5-minute video, but on this slide, I have leveled it out so I can, you can either choose to look just at the first part, the next part, whatever. Check that out if you're having any trouble with saying your cites in a natural way so they come across sounding authoritative, right? Credible. If they are believable, you raise your ethos, your believability. There are more resources in links. Next to content on our main page is a nav bar called links. These are all online resources I have curated for you. If you pull down to persuasion or click on persuasion, you'll see these first ones, and then there's a couple more. For persuasion, I really want everyone to look at Monroe's motivated sequence. Dr. Alex Lyon, a communication coach, blogger, YouTuber, talks about a psychological, persuasion psychology, right? Psychological method for getting someone to follow your call to action. It even has below that a link called Outline Guide for Monroe's Motivated Sequence. And those are some good trigger phrases. That's just a little worksheet with all the little trigger phrases on it. Might find it helpful. The third one that you'll see when you pull in links is Nancy Duarte. Her communication company has helped so many people with formatting things, really creative. Her TED Talk is good. But this one is just a video on the structure of the greatest persuasive speeches. So it's kind of interesting. It's not something you have to watch, but it's a good one. When I give feedback, I've just gotten a new tool where we can put audio or audio-visual feedback in Dropbox. So I did it for the last few demonstrative demo outlines. And I did the writing of the book that I give you for feedback because I need that right now to mentally organize. But I decided to try the new tool out, and I gave about 6 of you some audio feedback of 1 or 2 key points that I really want to emphasize with you. Check that out. Let me know if you like that feature. I'm going to do that for each of your persuasive outlines that you turn in. So it's just a different way of offering, a different channel for communication. What's this week look like? On our videos and resources, you're going to, in the course outline, you're going to find our outline, and it has some little blue tips there. Remember, you can get rid of those blue tips after you've seen them and read them, remembered them. You're going to find our rubric, and this rubric, you'll notice, does not have a time limit. You'll want to probably go beyond 4 minutes or 4 minutes or beyond, because you need a little bit of time. Speakers need to be able to increase the appeals. Don't just tell, tell, tell. Really draw us in. Get our belief in you as a speaker ethos. Put that logic, which tends to be where a lot of people go simplistically, but put some good logical facts in there or examples, and they can be cited too. And then also grab our hearts. John Cotter, a businessman, says hearts and minds, hearts and minds, hearts and minds. If you, he's a professor emeritus at Harvard or something, but if you want to make a change, if you want to affect institutional, organizational, or personal change, you need to have the heart and the mind of the audience. Let's see if you can make your speech video for Persuasive an exemplar. That means you'll get 5 bonus points and a request for me to be able to share it with others, which you can say yes or no. Finally, on the course outline, I do mention TED 2 revisions. If you choose, you may use the revision feedback that I have given you, and it's next to your grade there, and you can fix things. Make sure if you fix one thing, you fix it all, so I don't have to go back and carefully count everything. A lot of what academic writing is following the format, and I wanted to give you a taste of that. If you choose to improve it, go for it, even though a lot of the scores were really high. Again, I mentioned there are additional videos in our links. Do please check out Monroe's Motivated Sequence. You'll have your outline to turn in, get some feedbacks, especially if you turn it in early, and then you can post your video, improve on your video, and post your URL in discussion number 10. Reply to your peers with kind, specific, and helpful information. Maybe you'll ask them a question. Sometimes critique can be given in a way that still includes positives too. Make sure that you are being collegiate and not just, oh, what a great topic, rah, rah. Okay. You will do a reflection journal. This is your last week for a reflection journal, and next week we'll be using what you have created and used all this term, along with all of your data, your scores from your feedback from mine, from Dropbox, the feedback you've gotten in discussion or maybe even given. If you were frightened at the beginning and then you came to not be frightened, and maybe you can find some support for that or reasonings about that, all those reflection journals are going to be part of the data you use to evaluate yourself. But we'll talk about that next week. Finally, we have every course in college the opportunity to give our feedback to that instructor. The Roane State course evaluations are online. Let's talk about that. When you complete your COM 2025 feedback for your online course evaluation, you will be able to help me understand what I'm doing well and need to continue or might start, how I might improve the course. So I have a few extra questions on that. Mostly they're what they call Likert scales, 1 through 5, kind of click the boxes, but there's a few boxes where you can type in a few answers. When you get done with that, you'll have a final screen that says, thanks for completing it, or something like that. Take a shot of that screen and put it in the Dropbox for online course evaluation. That's an easy 100 for a participation grade. Next, I'd like to talk about taking communication beyond the classroom and in the classroom. But before I do that, let's talk about your discussion post. I just want to remind you, yes, deadlines are closer than they appear. If you're missing anything, talk to me, let me know. Make sure you've done your discussion post and replies. Yes, I'll be here during these weird office hours on Tuesday and Saturday, but I'm always here for you. So go ahead and let me know if I can help you. Now, here's the communication thing. When you're asynchronous, it doesn't mean you have to be out of sync. Chris Whaley, President Chris Whaley of Rhone State, and research indicates that the more a person is engaged in an institution, in a family, in an organization, at your job, the more you're engaged, the more success you'll have. So whether it's just chatting with others to solve problems, reading your jam, your Just a Minute that comes out each week, watching Chris Whaley's weekly videos, or even exploring Radar Recruit, which is your career placement job site, and they have so many resources. See what's available, and then join or share your voice and suggest something that you need or you want. In the recent times, I shared with the guy in the upper right there in the blue shirt, an artist friend of mine, that I really would love to display his work on the freshly painted walls of Cumberland campus. The guy on the left in that shot by the flag picture is Truman, and he painted all those walls. What is that, brick red on one side and then the whiter on the other side? But it's awesome. So I asked Craig if he'd loan us his artwork, and all down the main hallway we have these beautiful, profound illustrations, and there's a significant meaning to all of them if you look up close. That all happened because I shared my desire. You have ideas, things you want done too, so share your voice. This is all from the social media from Rhone State Cumberland. This is Prachi and myself there holding the College of the Year Award. So this is not just rah rah Morphew. This is, hey, if you're in the know with, again, whatever institution you're using their resources, you're going to find new things. And then I'd love to point this out to you. Remember I said asynchronous doesn't have to mean you're not engaged? On April 22nd, and especially if you have kids, but if you want to just get a bunch of friends together, Rhone State students can email prior to that date, and they'll get this painting kit to paint earth rocks, rock painting. Silly little things, but if you're in the know, you can be engaged, even if you're an online student. Again, asynchronous doesn't have to mean out of sync. This is the top picture is an illustration of the fact that we at Rhone State do Skills USA. These are the people, including myself, with Adriana Musser there. She just won silver for the state of Tennessee and lost only to the VP of Skills USA. If you have a technical skill or an area in which you're interested, Rhone State has this, and you can be part of it, and you can compete, or you can just be active. Down at the bottom, you saw 2 Rotaract students. This is also at Cumberland, the Ecology Club people and what we call OWCA, a watershed group. And we were distributing trees just a couple of Saturdays ago. So find out what's around there and join or suggest what you need or want. It makes life so much more interesting. That is it, folks. You have a call to action that you want to convince us we need to do. So enjoy doing your big, great work here and get your final speech in. See me if you need to catch up on anything, if there's something you don't know how to do or a resource that you want me to tell you about. Have a good week.